HTTV in association with Absolute Warehouse Services. Mark, thank you for joining us. Obviously, this is a very difficult time for everyone at Huddersfield Town, but no more so than our loyal supporters.
Yeah, it's a really difficult time for everyone, staff, players, supporters. You find out a lot about yourself, Adam, in times of adversity, and I can completely sympathise with the fans. You know, it's not that long ago that they were celebrating wins over Manchester United in the Premier League, and here we are in the midst of a relegation battle, and we are in a relegation battle. We have to accept that and fight our way out of it. And so I can completely understand why fans would be disappointed with the way the last year has gone, the way we came out of the Premier League, and the way this season has not turned out anything like, I suspect, any of our fans and any of the staff at Huddersfield thought it would do. But we are where we are now, and we have to face up to that. There's no point moaning about what's gone on. We need to do what we need to do to do everything we can in our power to remain in this division, and then to obviously bounce and go back to growing as a club again.
Yeah, like you said, fighting another relegation this season wasn't the plan, but the short-term objective obviously is clear to say that we want to stay in the Sky Bet Championship. Further afield from that, what is the long-term aim for Huddersfield Town?
Yeah, absolutely. That's everyone is focused on staying in the division. You know, that's as I touched on earlier. I don't think anyone envisaged we would be in this position, but we are. So the focus of on the field and off the field, everyone is pulling in the same direction to get us out of trouble and to set us up for a much more positive end to the season. Longer term, we've been pulling together a plan. So it's a short, medium, long-term plan. The short-term plan is to basically stay in the division. The longer-term plan is to build a really professionally run, smart club that will plays football in a certain way, has players that join us, and that we recruit players of a certain style, certain ages, and for us to recover ourselves and to come back to a club that will sooner rather than later be challenging back at the top end of the Championship, but in a sustainable and attainable way, rather than just throwing cash at it. I mean, one thing that COVID has done has limited the way clubs funds and the way they operate. Most clubs are going to use this time, I would have thought, quite smartly to cut their cloth accordingly and to plan for a very different future. The outlook football wise is going to be very different for football, whether it's the wages that are paid, the structure of leagues. I think there's a lot of change coming, and our aim is to make sure that Huddersfield Town is right on the top of that, back challenging where I know our fans want to be, but it's not as simple as clicking fingers. We have to accept that we've had a bad 12 months, and lots of things have transpired. We've had, Phil has taken over at a tough time. Phil's incredibly ambitious for the club, makes all his decisions with the best interests of the club. He really is desperate for the club to succeed, and we need to understand that that's where we're at. There's been mistakes along the way. There's been a change of CEO. I'm now here. I've taken over from a previously very experienced CEO. Our commercial directors recently left us, but it's given us an opportunity to look at that area of the club, to recruit what I believe is an excellent new commercial director, completely look at the way we operate there, how we operate operationally. Canal Side has come together as a fantastic training facility. So lots of things are in place, but there's been a lot happen in a very short period of time. Not all of it has been positive. I think that's fairly obvious to say, but the plans have been laid in order for this club to rebuild, bring itself all together again, and really to bounce back as quickly as we can and get ourselves challenging at the right end of this division rather than where we are at the moment.
And it would be keen to stress that even with COVID-19 and the pandemic and how that is changing the face of football, Huddersfield Town is stable, isn't it?
The club is very stable. It's got stable ownership. Dean Hoyle is still on the board. There's an ex-chairman that still cares deeply about the club. As I've already said, we've got a new chairman and a new owner that really cares passionately about Huddersfield Town Football Club. I know Phil has had he's had detractors, but he works incredibly hard for the club and has got the best interest of the club at heart with every decision he makes, and that goes for all of the senior management team as well. I'm really fortunate to have inherited a really good set of people and great set of staff who care deeply about the club. But yes, the COVID is going to change football. The amount of money in football will obviously reduce. The general economy will be obviously softer as we go forward, and depends which economic expert you want to listen to that will tell you how long they think that the economy is going to suffer for. But most people are predicting it's going to be somewhere between 18 months and 3 years for us to get back to where we were all used to. Football will not operate in isolation outside of that. Football will hurt. It is hurting. Lots of clubs have got issues. Lots of League One and League Two clubs have got serious issues. Huddersfield's in a good position with good owners, and as I say, we've got good people pulling together to put a plan in place that will see the club return to the top end of the table and be pushing again for promotion. But I would stress that we're putting together a club that can operate in a sustainable fashion, rather than just throwing cash at the problem, because that can often lead to other issues and take you down a totally different path. That's not a road we'll be going down, but we'll be looking to grow the club in a very smart, efficient way.
And obviously, short term, like we've said, 7 games left this season. Does everyone around the club, playing staff, normal staff, the senior management team, does everyone understand the severity of the situation we're in at the moment?
I don't think there's a person around Huddersfield Town Football Club that isn't aware of the battle that we're in. We've been in a battle for 3 months off the field because of COVID, and the last couple of results have really made it very clear to everyone that we're in a real battle this season. And I don't think there's a player or a member of the coaching staff or a member of the off-field staff that doesn't realise the importance of these next few weeks and what we need to do to get ourselves across the line. So everyone is acutely aware of that. We know what fans are expecting. We know they've been disappointed over the past year, and everyone is working incredibly hard to right that. As I say, mistakes have been made along the way. I think we have to throw our hands up, and they probably will continue to be made as we make decisions to go forward. But I honestly believe that we've got a group of people that not only understand the severity of this issue and the situation we find ourselves in, but are up for the challenge, and then are up for the challenge of taking the club forward once we've come through this successfully.
And it's vitally important in this next period that everyone sticks together, because ultimately positivity among everyone will help the team.
I think we can only achieve this by coming together, everyone. And even though we can't have fans in the stadium, just the general tone on social media, which I completely understand has been, very, very negative particularly following the result against Wigan. And I totally understand that. We're all football fans. Pretty much everyone at the club is a football fan. We understand how fans react to that. What I would ask them to do now is just, as they've always been, they've always given us fantastic support, even though they can't be there in person, just to really get that positivity around the place. The players feel it. The players will understand when the fans are with them. Just asking everyone to come together. And as I say, players, coaching staff, and off the field staff, we're all as one. We're coming together as a group to really take on this challenge. And I would just ask the fans to, continue to give us their backing. We appreciate the disappointment. We understand fully when results go against us why fans will be upset. Social media is an incredible outlet. It can be really destructive, but it can also be incredibly positive. And I would just ask fans, if they can, understand our situation and just be there with us and help the players and the club get over the line. We do, as you say, need to come fully together on this as one.
Mark, thank you for speaking to us.
You're welcome.